In the game of Jeopardy, a player earns money for correct answers and loses money for incorrect answers. Questions can be worth 50, 100, 150, 200, or $250. A player gets $50 question correct, and then a $200 question incorrect. After two more answers, the player's total was $0. What could have been the values and the results of the two answers? Explain how you know that your answers are correct. All right, so first let's take a look at what we're being asked to do. It says, what could have been the values and the results? The values and the results of these two answers. And so that refers back to the fact that we're discussing two answers. That refers back to the two answers that, we don't know what those values are, but it makes the player's total $0. Okay, so let's dive into this question a little bit deeper. We're obviously going to have to take a look at the $50 correct question and the $200 incorrect question. And we'll have to get a balance there first before we can get to where we would be zero. So in any event, so we had the positive 50 for the correct answer, and we had a negative 200 for the incorrect answer. And when you total those up, you have a balance of negative 150. And this is before the two questions that were asked to find out what, combination of values that the answers could have been. So we'll kind of break it out this way. We'll say that we have answer A and answer B. Okay. And we'll just, since we don't know the values of those, we'll just label them. You don't have to do all this, but I'm just kind of saying we don't know what those are. It could be X or Y, or just to keep it easy, we could just say, well, all right, question marks. We don't know the values. How many dollars is each one of these worth? Okay, but we do know one thing. They have to add up to $150 because we're going to need 150 to zero out that negative 150 balance from before. And so let's take a look at our choices, right? We had all these values here, 50, 100, 150, 200, or 250. And so any combination of these answers could work, right? And so we could pull two questions where we had a $100 correct answer and a $50 correct answer. So question A could have been worth 50, right? And it would have been correct. And question B could have been worth $100, and that would have been correct. There's some other ways this could have went down as well. He could have answered a question correct for $200 and had that correct, but he could have answered one that was incorrect for $50. This still is going to equal 150, right? Ultimately, because it's 200 minus 50. And even still, he could have answered a correct one for $250 and an incorrect one for $100. And that still is going to come out to 150. So these are the three combinations right here. 1, 2, 3. These are the three possible combinations that the player could have responded with in order to get back to that zero balance, right? Because he was at negative 150 after the first two questions and then two more to balance it to zero.